The target of this channel is sewing made easy. Sewing without having to crack all the brains you need to crack. Actually, in ready to wear business, when you are making ready to wear clothes, you do not materials, you do not really need all these calculations. Sometimes you see people making ready to wear clothes 100 pieces per day. So when you're making 100 pieces per day, you have to make your sewing as simple as possible. Now we are trying to go back to the basics. No too much calculation, just your tape roll, your ruler and your scissors. That's all you need. Okay, now if you are new to this channel, if you are an old subscriber, you're highly welcome. But if you are a new subscriber, do well to subscribe so that anytime any important video like this comes up, you'll be the first to know. So now this is an example of a basic sleeve, right? This is how your basic sleeve should look like by the time you are done plotting your draft. Okay, now for you to plot this, what you really need is some measurement from this place, which is the basic bodies. Now from these basic bodies, the only place we need is from here to here, right? Now we measure from here to here. First of all, before we start, we need to create space so as to be able to manage our pattern paper. So we want to create a working space now, and I just want to assume, I don't want to waste my paper, so I want to assume that 11 inches working space is enough for me. 11 inches working space is enough for me. Then I use my ruler. To connect like so. Now this particular side does not have an allowance, simply because the basic sleeve is unfold by that area. Okay, this is how it's coming out, so we don't really need any allowance by this side, but definitely we need allowance by this side. And that's why I said, before you start drafting, please create a border to be able to control your markings, right? When you create a border, it helps you control your markings. It helps you to control your markings, right? Now, from the basic bodies, where we need the measurement we need again is this armhole depth, right? Now, in the armhole depth, for you to place the armhole depth on this place, right? For you to place it here, you need the cap's height. Please, if you have not been following my videos, do well to go back and watch the video that I uploaded on how to do standard measurements. There are things we call standard measurements based on the person's bodies. You have standard measurements, so go back and watch that video so you'll be able to understand this theory of cap's height. Now for this particular client, the cap's height is 4. This cap height is very, very important, because if you do not get your cap's height right, this sleeve might be tight on your client. So you connect the cap's height line this way. You connect this way, right? Now we want to make it also 10 inches. Sleeve length, cap's height, armhole depth is this area, round sleeve is this area, circumference, sleeve length is this length from here to here. Okay, this is your sleeve length. Now sleeve length is 10 inches. We mark our 10 inches here. Then we still go here to mark our 10 inches so that it will serve as a guide for us. Then we use our ruler to connect it. In sewing, you don't really have to waste all the time plotting whatever. Okay, once you get the standards right, you are done. Now this is basically all we need. Then we now have to impute this armhole depth. Now this is where we impute the armhole depth, which is 8 inches. Okay, we impute our round sleeve, which is 10 inches. But remember, it is 10 inches, but since it is the round sleeve, you know our cloth is unfold. So when we are measuring, we measure here. This is the round sleeve circumference, right? But this material is unfold. So since this whole circumference is 10, if it's unfold, it's now 5 inches, right? You impute your 5 inches here. Okay, now for this sleeve To be able to bend the sleeve, I like adding 2 inches allowance down. Okay, I like adding 2 inches allowance down. So you connect this your allowance line, connect it. Now you use your ruler again here. Remember, I made these measurements I'm using are just fiction, okay? So it might not look exactly how it is, but if you do your own proper measurement, this is how your sleeve should come out looking. Now for you to do proper measurement, please go back to the former video I made on how to take accurate body measurements. Please watch that video. It will help you a lot to understand what we are doing. Now the next thing for you to do is to connect this line to this part. Please watch me carefully. Connect these 2 lines. Okay, this is it. That's all. The next thing for you to do is find the midpoint of that line you connected. You find the midpoint of that line you connected, and it is 8.5. If it is 8.5, the only thing you need to do is bend this tape like this, press it hard, and you get 4.25. This is it here, 4.25. Then I measure my 4.25. I measure my 4.25, which is the midpoint. Now you use your ruler. Okay. Then remember to add 1/2 inch all through, 1/2 inch all through, 1/2 inch all through. Then you cut out. Now on this allowance line, when you measure 5 inches, do well to shift your hand to this area like 1/2 inch. Why you are doing this is so that when you are folding your allowance in, it won't short. Okay, when you have this is your basic sleeve. Now because of this slanting you came out, because of the way you came out like this, when you now fold your allowance inside, look at how it is. So it laps very well. If you make it straight, if you follow this line and make it straight, when you now fold it inside, it will be shorting. So when you keep it this way, that is all you need. Guys, you have come to the end of this tutorial. Subscribe if you have not subscribed, and then the next video will be practical. All the basic bodies that we did, our flare, our sleeve, our basic body front and back, we'll now be practicalizing it. We'll be putting it on our Kara material to cut out and join. That will be our first project of this video. Okay, see you guys later, and thank you for watching.